of being robbed in Osun after a glaring victory. The main opposition party also wants INEC Chairman Yakubu Gowon to be held responsible for attempting to brew crisis in the country ahead of 2019 elections. See in Osun State now, meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress has described as baseless calls by the People's Democratic Party that its candidate be declared winner of the Osun governorship elections. The acting public secretary, Yekini Nabena, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Nabena urged the electorate in Osun to remain focused on the task of consolidating on the APC change administration in the lead up to the rerun polls. He lauded the electorate, INEC, police, and party stakeholders for helping to ensure peaceful polls. Similarly, the APC has accused the People's Democratic Party of hypocrisy and issues relating to the Osun elections. It wondered why the party that was silent when the Kogi governorship election of 2015 was declared inconclusive. At the time, the late Abubakar Audu was leading by 240 votes to the PDP's 199,514 votes. APC spokesman Yekini Nabena recalled that the margin of 41,353 favored APC, but INEC ordered a rerun because 49,951 cancelled votes were higher than the 41,000. On election day, it accused the opposition of deploying vote-buying templates while accusing other political parties of irregularities during Saturday's inconclusive elections. The party claimed that PDP agents bought votes for its candidate, Senator Ademola Adeleke, particularly in a day local government councils. Seeing Osun now, in reaction, Senate President Bukola Saraki has faulted INEC for declaring the Osun elections inconclusive. INEC said in a statement expressed dismay at the action of INEC after a candidate who won the highest number of votes and fulfilled conditions for geographical spread. Saraki said INEC was wrong to have declared the election inconclusive because votes in certain polling units were cancelled. According to him, voting took place and was cancelled. Only the courts could reverse the initial decision by the electoral umpire to cancel such votes. He charged the PDP to seek legal interpretation of INEC's decision and encouraged the election umpire to show courage and show the world that our electoral system has come of age. Now, the National Assembly has rescheduled its resumption from September 25th to October 9th. This was contained in a statement issued by the clerk of the National Assembly, Mohammed Omolori, on Sunday. Omolori explained that the postponement was due to activities of primary elections by political parties. The National Assembly proceeded on its annual vacation on July 24th and was expected to resume on September 25th. Meanwhile, the Abundant Nigerian Renewal Party has described the National Assembly's rescheduled resumption of plenary to October 9 as insensitive to pressing national issues. Sesu Akome, the national spokesman of the party, disclosed this in an interview with journalists in Lagos. Away from that, now the postponement of the resumption of the National Assembly has continued to generate reactions. Now the co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls BBOG advocacy group has lambasted the president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, over the decision to extend the resumption of its plenary. Isufu maintained that the Senate President Saraki wanted to rule Nigeria but wasn't interested in putting Nigeria first. The activists accused Saraki of putting Nigeria on hold while he goes about his presidential campaign tour. Now joining live via telephone call is Aisha Yesufu, the co-convener of Bring Back Our Girls. Good afternoon and welcome to PTV today.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're on to PTV today. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, now first, we got your reactions as regards the postponement of the resumption date for the National Assembly. Now, what are the likely implications of the National Assembly not resuming as scheduled?
Well, before I go on, first and foremost, I think I would like to say that I'm here in my capacity as a Nigerian citizen, as an individual, and not in my capacity as a co-convener of Bring Back Our Girls movement. So okay. I just wanted to let that out of the way. I think for us as Nigerians, we need to get to a place where we begin to take our nation seriously. We have a National Assembly that, because of parties' primaries, have postponed their reconvening, and that's quite unbelievable. That we think it is normal. The fact that there are even people who are arguing and defending it, for me, is just unbelievable. We have a lot of issues on ground. We have the Electoral Act that needs to be worked upon. We have the issue of the budget for INEC. We have the issue of terrorist attacks that have been happening in different parts of the country. We saw a Nigerian citizen, a 25-year-old mother of two, an aid worker that was helping out in Ran that was taken away on March 1st, 2018, being executed by the terrorists. The terrorists have sent in a warning, and they said in 30 days, if nothing was done about that one, they were going to start killing them. They killed one, and they are giving another 30 days before they will start killing the rest of them, including Leah Sharibu. Yet, the National Assembly has not deemed it fit to say what is going on. Let us hold the executive responsible. Let us come and deliberate on the issue of the nation. We have seen where our economy, the numbers that have been coming out from different reports are not good. But yet our politicians, the people that we sent in to deliberate on our issues, are more interested in the personal issues. It takes a whole lot of this country.
Okay, now, but the reason pushed out by the National Assembly is that party primaries are slated within the time frame now. But the argument is that INEC had, a few months ago, released the timetable for party primaries. Do you have any contrary view to this?
The thing is that the party primaries, it is not today that they know that they're going to be party primaries within a certain frame, right? They had a 4-year notice to this. So from the last primaries, you knew the last party primaries you're going to have will be 4 years from now. It's just like from now, you know, in another 4 years, within this time frame, there's going to be party primaries. So in that case, why don't you work it in such a way that you have your recess within this period? Apart from that, you had taken a long recess, you were supposed to have come back, you postponed it, and then you're coming out again to postpone a postponement based on personal issues. Please, let's not forget, there is nowhere and nowhere that issues of party should supersede our national interest. Nigeria is above any individual and above any party. And we have a lot of issues that are pertinent. We have a lot of issues that are on ground. For example, we talk about the budget for INEC. This party primaries that we are going to do, on what are we going to use it for? Is it not for the elections? And that same election, we are saying, oh, there's a budget that needs to be worked upon. Yes, you might say that the executive did not bring in the budget on time and all of that. But right now that we are here, that the executive did not bring the budget on time, are you going to delay it in such a way it will affect the elections that you are having primaries for? Hello? If our National Assembly members were being paid per hour of their sitting, would they really be doing this? We are paying them such exorbitant amount of money, and we expect them to put in the work. Half of the time they are on holiday. The only time they are supposed to see, they are beginning to tell us stories. Why don't they carry their normal research that they have to the time that they will not have time to do their primary elections without taking out of our own time? Because for every hour that members of the National Assembly are sitting, Nigerians are paying through their noses, and it doesn't come cheap. It's one of the most expensive in the world.
Okay. Now, some Nigerians see the postponement as a selfish move on the part of Saraki. Do you have a different view to this?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat that again?
Some Nigerians have seen this postponement as a selfish move on the part of Saraki. Now, do you see a different view to this?
Well, the fact is that the book we have to stop at the table of Saraki. Of Bukola Saraki, because why? He's the head of the National Assembly. He's the Senate president. He's the third person. So no matter what people will see that way, so it is all he's now representing them. It's about their selfish interests. He's going around the country trying to be the president of this country. The other ones are going around whatever constituency of theirs that it is that they're going around to be either senators or House of Rep members. So at the end of the day, it's all about their selfish interests. What we are saying now is, when are they going to put Nigeria first? When are they truly going to make Nigeria, not just in mouth, but in action and in the things that they do? When are we, even as citizens, going to know that we are first in this matter, and that these people that we elect, They are not our employers. We are the employers. They are our employees and should be doing what we have asked them to do, which is to put the country first, which is to put on things that are meant for the country. And until we get there, I'm sorry, we're not going to go anywhere in this country.
Okay, now, if at all there will be any impacts, I mean, if there would be, what are the impacts you think this would have on the 2019 general elections?
Well, before even 2019 election, we have a country to govern. Like I did say to you earlier on, the terrorists have said they have prosecuted one person. I saw the pictures and they're not funny. When you see a young woman of 25 being made to kneel down and the bullet put through her head and the blood coming out of her nose when she was with her eyes open, still staring at you, knowing she left two children, that we wonder why the nation never did anything when their mother was killed. That is an issue. And that has not been enough for the National Assembly to say, let's have an emergency, so let's cut short our recess. We are looking at 2019 election. So we have electoral act that needs to be worked upon. That they have seen. What are we doing right now? The card reader, there is no way we must work in such a way that the card reader is not part of the law. It has to be part of the law. Because right now it is a defining moment. It's a defining tool that has set our election on a path whereby we no longer see ballot boxes snatching. Because even if you snatch it, there's a card reader that's going to, if you stop it, that's going to say not this many people were accredited. So to make it null and void. We are also looking at the fact that what if we do not have enough time to have passed on the budget? INEC needs money. Elections are expensive. They need money to start working. And if they don't have budget, what are they going to work on? Will this now lead to a situation whereby we will not be able to have a hold the 2019 election? Where is that going to lead us to? Do we have a situation whereby, okay, so we come May 29th, there's nothing has been done. So these are the issues that are pertinent. These are the issues that are on ground that we really need to focus on. We need to fight. Let the National Assembly members know that it is not about their individual political personal ambition. It's about the ambition of 180 million Nigerians that put them there.
Okay, now, so by what you say now, you subscribe to the call by the APC calling on the National Assembly to resume based on pressing national issues.
I don't subscribe to anything by APC or whatever it is that they are saying. What I am saying is the fact that the National Assembly needs to take the national issues first. They need to reconvene and focus on the nation's national interest and not on their own personal interest. APC has its own wahala she needs to go and deal with on its own. So for me, I'm not interested. What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying as an individual. If they do that, the same thing they are saying, good for them. For the first time, they are using what they're supposed to use. Now they should face the presidency and ask them to do the right thing on a lot of issues that they haven't done anything on.
Okay, now, is there any alternative to resuming in October now? Can anything be done?
You said what?
Is there any alternative to the National Assembly resuming in October?
Well, I think their resumption is now in October. That's what they have said. They were supposed to have resumed in September, this month, and they have postponed it to October. Yeah, of course, the reason why a lot of things happen, I must tell you, is that we as citizens of the Republic of Nigeria, we have failed Nigeria. We are a very docile bunch of people. So we will sit down, or some will be defending them, some will be attacking other people who are saying, oh, why are you not reconvening and all of that. Instead of us to do the right thing. If, for example, Nigerians were citizens that knew their onions, that knew their work, that their national, that the people that they have elected will not take them for granted, we would have not been at the National Assembly right now. By the time they see us at the National Assembly, they are saying today, you either resume, all of you will send you back home, then we come. They don't, of course, we are employers who don't even know they are employers, who think of ourselves as slaves. And so we'll keep watching while they do what they need, what they like to do. Until we, the citizens, are ready to occupy the office of the citizen and begin to make demands on those we elected, instead of protecting them from criticism, this is what we'll keep getting.
Okay, now let's move over to Osun elections quickly. Now, what are your thoughts on the INEC pronouncement?
Well, for me personally, my thoughts are this. The election being declared inconclusive, in my own way, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know, but in my own opinion, it's okay. Because we have less than 300 votes. that is the difference between them. And from the votes that have been cancelled and all of that, we have much more than that. And so let there be, if there is going to be a recount, a rerun has already been set for 27th of this month, right? Then let them do that and vote again. The one thing that must be paramount is that the mandate of the people must be allowed to take place. The voices of the people must be heard. And for me, I think Osun election is a lesson to all of us across Nigeria. First of all, it says to us, every vote counts. Our votes matter. Don't want that people will say, oh, our votes don't matter. Why go to vote? It matters. We can say what it is. 300 is not the difference where we have somebody who is leading and the other not leading. So every person's vote matters, and the people should come out at any time to defend their votes, to stand for their votes, to vote for the person that they want to come in. And I think Osun elections for this country will be a turning point where we can see that indeed it is the people who actually have the power to decide who rules over them. And 2019, that's what we should be doing.
Okay, now, but let's look at the precedent that was set in Kogi in 2015 when we had a similar issue, and the margin of cancelled votes were more than the difference between the APC and the PDP, which was in favor of the APC then, and then the election was declared inconclusive. But secondly, during the last by-elections in Kogi as well, the Federal House of Reps by-elections, we had the same issue. But this time it was in favor of the APC, and the margin was more than the difference. And then that by-election was not declared inconclusive, despite that 2015 was declared inconclusive because of the same issue. Do you subscribe to all of these precedents now leading to what happened last weekend?
Well, from the little I know of I recall of the Kogi election was the fact that in the first place there was no voting in those places, right? They were cancelled due to insecurity and all of that. And then in this case there is. But for me, it's basically, honestly, I'm not holding brief for anybody. Whatever needs to be done, let us just do the right thing and let us do it by the law. That's what I always stand for, whoever it is for or whoever it is against. But some of those things, if I do remember, I was a sales, but the other one, there was no election in those places at all, whereas they had, because of security, those places had been taken out. Whereas this one, there was election and there was cancellation. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, opinions, as far as I'm concerned, don't matter. What matters is ensuring that we do things by the law and ensuring that it is done, it is followed to the last T. And I will always subscribe by the law.
Okay, but how would you rate INEC's performance in the last two elections now?
For me, I think I would rate INEC elections very well. They have been coming with different innovative methods to ensure that results are being protected. And for me personally, I think I'm quite glad with what they're doing. But of course, there is a whole lot of room for improvement, and they need to come out and be truly independent in a situation whereby the I in INEC is meant to be independent. They are not dependent on anybody. Like right now, we have issue of budget. If it's possible, and that will have to be through the law, whatever, let them get their money that they don't need to. Just the way National Assembly gets their money and all of that. They don't need to wait through this whole process. When budget is done, we know there's something for election. Let's give them that way. So that in its own way will help them too. And one of the things that I really loved about the things they have done, I can't remember the name of the form, but there's a certain form now which is put at every polling unit, where after the whole result and everything, it is written down there. So it's not a matter of whoever is the collation officer, whoever is in charge, they're going somewhere to go and put the vote. You will put in the numbers that have been counted, and anybody can take a picture of that. And you know, the way things are going, and the fact that they are trying to be innovative to catch up with the trends that are coming up, for me, it gladdens my heart. It means there is room for progress. And whenever they are being criticized, they take it on board and work on it. For example, on the issue of smartphones being used in polling, inside the polling booth, which we have found that a lot of people take pictures of what they have taken so that they can be paid in terms of the vote buying. And this is something that they have stopped. You know, when you see somebody trying, and it's not all the way there. There's the fact that they are listening to criticism, they are listening to the yearnings of the people, they are listening to citizens and what is going on, and they are making amends and bringing forth solutions. That gladdens my heart and gives me hope.
Okay, finally now, considering how close Osun elections is to the next year's general election, what are the lessons you think that the political class and the electorate should pick out from the Osun elections?
I think for the political class, the lesson I would expect them to take from it is the fact that citizens are angry and citizens are tired of being taken for granted. Where they think they have a hold over the citizens, that they will not do anything, they will always go by the head mentality. Whoever is in power or whoever is the big party, I think they begin to not go by that. We saw a situation whereby we had 3 candidates who had quite a number of votes. We had the Omishore of SDP, I believe, who had 120-something thousand votes, which is huge, and that should tell them that citizens are ready to go with candidates that they believe in. On the part of the electorate, I think we have a lot of lessons to learn. First of all is the belief that, oh, it is always going to be APC and PDP and that's it. No. With this number, somebody came in and proved quite a number of votes. That means if you just make a difference to identify someone who is good wherever that person is and vote for the person can emerge as winner. And I think another lesson for us is to understand that every single one of our votes counts. They count the votes and they matter. And that because that's first of all why politicians are buying it. And with the fact that see the difference between the leading party and the one that is following is about 300 and something, it means every vote counts. And also for the electorate to understand that their own vote can be the deciding vote. That your single vote can be the deciding vote. I think also most importantly is for citizens to know that every of the PVC that you have never used before, or you have always been in your house, you've not bothered to go to vote, this is the time to use it because it will matter, it will be a decider, it will be a deciding factor. Let's go towards 2019 election knowing that we are going to bring in a candidate who is capable, who has capacity and character.
Thank you very much, Aisha Yesufu, for coming live on PTV today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm speaking with Aisha Yesufu, co-convener. We'll bring back our girls, and she was live on the news. Well, to wrap this up now, the People's Democratic Party has begun the screening of all the 13 presidential aspirants ahead of the October 6 presidential primaries in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The screening of the aspirants commenced at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the party in Abuja. That's as much we can take on PTV today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Daniel Wamboso.
PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours. Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the talent reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
You're watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian soldiers fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law, should I personally dissociate myself completely. Personally.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is.
Elections should not be a do-or-die affair. There's no basis for violence in election.
If any politician asks them to go and do violence because they want to pay them, let them ask them, any politician, to go and bring his son or daughter to lead the violence.
I want to employ the young people in the forthcoming election not to fight. They should be orderly. At the same time, they must be vigilant.
I support the campaign or vote and not fight. Let us vote peacefully and shun any form of conflict.
It's what we use on our everyday life. One cannot go out without wearing fabric. It's so absurd. But apart from the covering of one's body, what else can Ankara be used for? An amazing question. On this episode, you will get the answers to this question. This is Outside and we are still on Ankara. I am your host, Cynthia Eduje. See you after the break. Welcome back. Last week on this episode on Ankara Fabrics, we discussed about the amazing arts and the names of the fabrics, Ankara. Now, on this episode, we'll be discussing about the amazing works that could be made out of Ankara fabric. Not just the amazing works, we're going to be discussing about the process, watching a video on the process of what and how these things could be made. Before we meet our guests, we'll be going out there to meet people to get their opinion on so many things. What else can be made out of Ankara fabrics, apart from the regular skirts and top, or dresses long and short, or even trousers and top? Let's see what they have to say.
The dress I'm wearing is actually made from Ankara material. And you see all these beautiful designs on it, all Nigerian. Then I also have this pretty purse here. Everything about it is made from Ankara, you know. And it's really, really beautiful.
Things that can be made from Ankara fabric, they are wears, dresses, gown, skirts and blouse, then handbag. You can even use it as necklace. And then shoes. In our car, we use as steering for the steering and the seat belts. All those things are made of Ankara fabric.
I decided to go into the trade because I noticed that we are now beginning to imbibe our culture more, our fashion, our products, our designs, everything about Africans. That's what I'm trying to bring out from my craft. I started to go into this business last year, sometime in August, and most of what I've made is solely made in Nigeria. All the products are picked all the materials are picked here in Nigeria and produced here in Nigeria for Nigerians. And as time goes on, I'm looking forward to sending it out of Nigeria just to give it a good image. So far, so good. Nigeria has been doing well. Here are some of the things I've made out of Ankara from my craft. This is Ankara fabric. I decided to put some stones to embellish it to make it look a little more classy for the people that like glittering stuff. And this other part is not stoned. So this can actually go for something to use for an outing, either evening or a dinner, a party for our young ladies. This is also something for our mothers, and it's a bit cheeky. This is really nice. My brand name is actually Deca because I'm trying to make sure that we carve an inch for ourselves, not just local all the way. This is one of the things also made out of Ankara. These, I would say, is one of my lovely crafts. This is nice. There are several other fabrics like you can see. The materials are available and very colorful. Why I decided to do this is to make sure that we eventually move off of everything so-called Western, but particularly African.
So I can use Ankara fabric for dress, for shoe, for stoning, for many things. Can use Ankara fabric and you can do. So can use Ankara fabric, you can use them for bead. See me here, you can use them for bead. You can use them for stoning and bead. You can use Ankara fabric for many things for this our country. So Ankara fabric, you can use it for cover house, you can use it for chair, you can use it for many things. You can use Ankara fabric, you can use them for.
So have you heard of Ankara fabrics before?
Because it's not the first time for me to come here because I live very close to the Ankara fabric. So it's not the first time, and I have some friends with me coming from France, and they asked me what I can bring with me back to France. So,
yeah.
I said also, oh, I know Ankara Fabrics is very close to my house. We can go and have a look.
Okay.
And for me, for example, last Christmas I come here and I bought some little products, go back to France and offer to my family in order to show them what is
there in Nigeria, Africa.
Nigerian art, because I just arrived in Nigeria since it was in last September, and before it was in Togo.
Okay.
It's a little bit different also.
Yeah.
So we can compare. And
so you have Ankara fabric in clothes, like you have clothes made of Ankara fabric.
Personally, I don't wear it, but some people have offered me some Ankara products and some clothes. So at home, for me, it's okay.
Welcome back. We have seen diverse and so many things that could be made out of Ankara fabrics from people. Let us now meet our guest, Samson Oyewole. Can you tell us more about your Ankara designs?
Of course, madam.
Please tell us more about it.
I have some works made with Ankaras, like 15 items made of Ankara, starting from makeup mirror, jewelry box,
okay,
the file folder,
okay,
complimentary card,
okay,
iPad case,
okay,
picture frame of different sizes.
Wow.
Then I have revealable pad.
Okay.
The uniqueness of this is that when the booklet is finished, you can replace it.
Okay. That's good.
Key holder, lampshade,
okay,
memo books of different sizes.
Okay. What is this?
It's a jewelry box with different shape and different sizes. But I have only this cubic form of jewelry box now.
Oh. It's so lovely.
It's good.
It's really so lovely.
It's good.
So I could actually put all my jewelries on this very one. Oh, that's very good. Can you tell us more on how you came to know about this very craft, Ankara craft?
I started year 1996. That time I was in SS3, Bishop Phillips Academy in Southwest, Oyo State, Ibadan. I started with the picture frame stand, and just to make and place at home. And people started appreciating it. Oh, wow, this is good. And thereafter, I moved to the Valentine cards. So to my lovers that time, I would prefer to do my own cards and give it to them.
That's good.
So, and I always have something in mind that I'll make sure that my work is quite different from others. And that's always helping me understand.
That's good.
So,
uniqueness.
Yeah. So my card that time has steps. And it's only my girl. I used to told her that time that I want you only to have it. And I will not give it to any other person else. So that when they come to me, I say, no, it's only for my girl. Go and buy outside. Okay. It's not for sales.
Okay.
But continue. So, and I told you that I have a mentor, the guy that normally look at my work and encourage me with my talent. So whenever I finish with it, something that I thought that just me, I just do something, and when you're less busy, find something to play with as a kid that time. So that if you continue with these things, it will surely take you to where you are going to. I started, and then it was sold for me and brought the money back. So people are buying. So then from picture frames, the picture frame I'm doing that time has a lot of correction. I can't do that anymore. Anyone I want to do again, I will actually add something to it.
Like a new creative
yes,
thing.
So that it can look different from the one I did. Because there's no way if I do something new, let's say I just wake up and say that, okay, I want to create something, and I actually make something out.
Okay.
Definitely I will see some lapses.
Okay.
So I will learn from that. So the next one will be more better. That is how I continue until I get to this place. Even my jewelry box that time, just to open it this way, people are complaining that it's difficult for them to put the cover and the base together.
Okay.
Then that thing started giving me a headache because I don't like customer complaining. And now I have a perfect jewelry box that nobody is complaining of.
Wow, yes, it's really perfect. It's really very nice.
And if you see my picture frame, if you have been seeing picture frames, even a lot of fabric picture frames are there online.
Yeah.
If you see mine is having two front layers. Theirs can only have only one layers.
Okay.
So I can see it. I have two one layers. Even the back.
Wow.
Is giving some artists problem. They don't know how to do about the stand. There can fall off.
Okay.
And this can last for years. And one thing there is that even in the front, there's a plastic, not glass. Because you know that it can fall, and when I didn't mean it is glass, it got broken.
Okay.
And it will go back to the artist. That's why I use plastic. Before I don't use anything. You can touch it, you can touch the pictures, and I don't like it then. Thought of what text to use. I'm still thinking of what I can see come out with the picture frame.
That's very, very nice. So how long have you been doing this? How long? For how many years?
It's over 20 years now.
Over 20 years?
Yeah, that I've been into this. Although in Abuja, I'm just 3 years old here in Abuja. Then I was in school, I supply out, collected my money, and go on with my studies. Understand? So I know that apart from the money being always given from my parents, I still have another thing to collect money from.
That is very good. So can you show us a demonstration on how some of these things can be done?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Come and tell us more about it.
Okay.
Action.
Now, before I start, I would like to show my tools and the materials needed.
Okay.
This is cutting knife.
Cutting knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
To cut. And this is melter ruler.
Metal ruler.
I know we have a lot of rulers out there. We have plastic, we have wood. Why I choose this? Because this cutting knife is very, very sharp.
Okay.
So if I'm to cut with the plastic, the cutting knife will cut even the ruler itself.
Okay.
I get it.
Yes.
If I use the wood ruler, it will cut the ruler itself. That's why I combine the metal ruler with the metal cutting knife.
Cutting knife. Yes, that's a good one.
It is a scissors
yes.
to cut the fabric where necessary.
Okay.
And this is the sealer.
Sealer?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is staple machine.
Okay.
To seal. So especially I use it for the back of my picture frames.
Oh, that's nice. A sealer.
Yeah. If I want to seal something, just do this way.
Wow.
And this is the pen. So we hold it firmly.
Okay. So, you're going to show us now?
And I still have a set of, depends on the work, but I want to show you all
your tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is this?
It's a compass.
A compass. So what do you use a compass for?
It's to form out the lampshade. You know, a lampshade is a cone.
Okay.
And you must carve it out from a circle.
Yeah.
I getting it now. And it takes at least it takes a lot of calculation before you can get it right.
Okay.
Because if you're not that good in mathematics, you'll not be able to get your cone properly taken out.
Yeah.
That's why I make use of this.
Okay.
And this, you know your angle accurately, and this is a ruler also to rule perfectly, because if you want to rule with your free hand, you might not have that compared to the ruler.
Yes, that's good.
So now I will demonstrate how to do the makeup mirror.
Okay. Now let's watch.
Now, these are some makeups. Because of our time, these are some makeup mirror that are yet to be completed. I'm still done. I have over 50. My works, I don't do it one after another. If I want to do 1,000, in 2005, I did key order for a company. I don't want to mention a name.
Okay.
5,000 copies. In 2007, the same company gave me a contract of 10,000 copies of the key order, and everything were perfectly made. But the NSA, the National Sales Manager, till tomorrow never believed that all these were done with hands. Thought that maybe 70% machine, 30% hand, and everything is 100% hand, because the way they were being done, the numbers and the time given. You know the contract, you'll be given the specified time, and if the time is not being met, the contract can be
revoked
from you. So now, if I want to do the makeup mirror, I have to go to where they are selling the glasses and look for the good one, give them the measurements and cut it for me. This one is 3.5 inches.
Okay.
And the length and the breadth of the makeup mirror itself is 3.75. It's not up to 4 inches.
Okay.
Why I made it that way? Because of my customers. Some will say that it's too big, some say that it's too small.
Okay.
And you have to consider even the weight. Some say that it's too heavy, they can't travel with it. Because no, we do mostly with all these expatriates, and they are looking for African-made stuff as a souvenir whenever they are returning back to their country. So, having called this, with the help of people selling the glass, I can't call this. I don't have that amount to call this, so I don't even bother myself. I pay for this.
Okay.
So, to make these, and when I started, this is how I used to place my mirror.
Okay.
This is my finished product then. But you can see the ugly faces around the mirror.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't like the way this thing. Some will say that cut hand, some will say that it's not even that good, although the back is good, but the inside is another thing else. Then, and this is what I come out with to frame the edge of the mirror, so that I'll be able to please my customer and the world, because I don't like any complaint. Give me work to do, I don't like any complaint. Okay. Like 2 months ago, at least I did this makeup mirror for someone for a wedding, 300 pieces. Now, as I told you, that is 3.5 inches, and I'm going to measure 1 centimeter round. That is going to be the covered area. Okay. After everything. Okay. And before that one, I know the measurement already. It's 3.5 by 3.5, and I have to go on cardboard. Okay. I'll use cardboard first. I'll measure my 3.5, and see the way I'm measuring it. Goes down again, 3.5. Yeah. Action. This is what we need. I've seen some people that come to me that the front side of your mirror, you usually cover it with paper. Someone said, how come? Are you coming out with your... Now, I've seen how I'm going to do it. So, these all 1 centimeter round, I have to apply chemical gum to it.
Okay, this is chemical gum.
Yeah.
You don't use any kind of gum, it has to be chemical gum.
Yeah, because of the, the quality of the gum. Okay. Not all this adulterated gum. Okay. And the application also matters, so that it won't steal the materials, because this is a lining materials, very soft. Then go on. Now it's time to call scissors to help us to cut. Then after that, brush will come over along with the chemical gum. When I cut pipes, and this to show people that it's not an easy work to do. This is not machine made, but 100% hand. Yeah. That is why I'm here in art markets.
Yeah, handmade.
And the edge may not be sharp enough for me. Then the ruler is there. Give me the sharp edge, round.
Wow. This is lovely.
Then after that, I will call on a brush along with the gum.
Okay.
Because this place also must be wrapped with the mirror. Now, mirror also must be painted round.
Okay. So this chemical gum, it's strong enough to hold this fabric to this mirror.
Of course. It lasts for years.
For years?
Yeah. And rightly placed. That mirror, I told you I'm not the one that caught it. All these glass seller. Yeah. Once you give them the measurement, they do their work.
Yeah.
And artists are expecting 100% perfection from you. Now, the next thing is to look for the wrapped back that goes with the red.
Yeah.
That once, because the color must not be riot.
Okay.
Then look for the
fabric with a touch of red.
Yeah. I think I'll go with this blue.
Yeah. Yes, we got a touch of red in that.
And also need to be painted.
This is lovely.
It must not get to the edge. And there must not be any form of gum stay.
Okay. It mustn't get to the edges.
Yes. Because there mustn't be any form of gum stay.
Okay.
Time's a wrap. And this edge must be cut off so that while folding it, it will be well folded.
So lovely.
So
this is really seriously amazing.
That is why my mirrors, if you go out there, you might see mirror, but theirs might not be covered this way.
Wow.
The ugliness, the sharpness that's subject to cut, is covered.
Wow.
This market, if you go around, you are not going to see my work, except the person at Dash or somebody that bought from me.
Wow.
Even if you see my work with somebody, you can challenge the person. Mirror.
Wow, this is amazing. This is really gorgeous. Oh, I'm actually looking at myself in the mirror, right?
Special mirror.
Wow, this is so good.
So wherever you take it out, they'll surely move close and say, even if you want it in Ashwebi when you are doing any ceremony.
Yeah, I think this would be nice.
So anybody that come around.
Okay. Oh, that is really so lovely. Thank you so much, Sensei, for really helping us and showing us how to make dressing mirror. Yeah. But this one is a pocket size, right?
Yeah.
So you could make makeup mirror. You could actually make a bigger one.
This is a bigger one. Let me bring it to you to hang to the wall. Even I have the table one. Although, no, this is summertime. I've sold all of them.
Wow. Iron Dyes Kangen alkaline water making machine for prevention and management of degenerative diseases. For more information, contact Daniel Okechukwu Okore on 070-574-11566 or 081-019-75862. Email danielokesen@gmail.com. Change your water, change your life. Wow, you have seen it all. We've come to see that there are a lot of amazing things we can make out of Ankara fabric. Yay! If you're just joining us, you missed a lot because I enjoyed this show. I don't know about you. I am so rocking my fabrics. Hope to see you next week on this episode. I love you so much. Bye for now, and I am Cynthia Ejide.
We got a 24/7 light, we got water, we got the best amenities, and when I don't feel like going out, I just watch TV.
Nice. Star Times, right?
Come on, man. Can you get Fox TV on Star Times? Ebony Live TV? Discovery Family? Please.
Yes, no.
We get all that and more channels safe. The Star Times Classic Bouquet Reloaded is the best deal.
The best?
Well, if you're paying over 10,000 Naira for a cable plan, then it has to be good.
Thank you, kid. We pay 1.9.
Choose it.
Get the best deals on channels like Fox TV, Ebony Live TV, ST Nollywood Plus, Discovery Family, and much more with Star Times Classic Bouquet Reloaded for only 1,900 Naira from September 1st to October 31st, 2018. Don't miss out on all the drama, action, and comedy on Star Times. Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
On Facebook, like our page and share our posts at People's TV NG. On Twitter, follow us at PTV_NG. Follow us on Instagram at PTVNG. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, People's TV. Visit our website, www.ptvng.com. Subscribe now and join the conversation online. People's TV, People's Preferred Station.
Good afternoon and welcome to PTV Today. I am Daniel Wamoso. The National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Uche Secondus, has charged the Independent National Electoral Commission to declare the PDP candidate winner of the Osun gubernatorial elections to avert national crisis. The call was contained in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja. Secondus maintained that the PDP will not accept anything less than the deserved victory, claiming that the party won squarely. The statement stressed that PDP won the Ekiti election and was robbed and is in the process of being robbed in Osun after a glaring victory. The main opposition party also wants INEC Chairman Yakubu Gowon to be held responsible for attempting to brew crisis in the country ahead of 2019 elections. See in Osun State now, meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress has described as baseless calls by the People's Democratic Party that its candidates be declared winner of the Osun governorship elections. The acting publicity secretary, Yekini Nabena, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Nabena urged the electorate in Osun to remain focused on the task of consolidating on the APC change administration in the lead up to the rerun polls. He lauded the electorate, INEC police, and party stakeholders for helping to ensure peaceful polls. Similarly, the APC has accused the People's Democratic Party of hypocrisy and issues relating to the Osun elections. It wondered why the party that was silent when the Kogi governorship election of 2015 was declared inconclusive. At the time, the late Abubakar Audu was leading by 240 votes to the PDP's 199,514 votes. APC spokesman Yekini Nabena recalled that the margin of 41,353 favored APC, but INEC ordered a rerun because 49,951 cancelled votes were higher than the 41,000. On election day, it accused the opposition of deploying vote-buying templates while accusing other political parties of irregularities during Saturday's inconclusive elections. The party claimed that PDP agents bought votes for its candidate, Senator Ademola Adeleke, particularly in a day local government councils. Seen in Osun now, in reaction, Senate President Bukola Saraki has faulted INEC for declaring the Osun elections inconclusive. INEC said in a statement expressed dismay at the action of INEC after a candidate who won the highest number of votes and fulfilled conditions for geographical spread. Saraki said INEC was wrong to have declared the election inconclusive because votes in certain polling units were cancelled. According to him, voting took place and was cancelled. Only the courts could reverse the initial decision by the electoral umpire to cancel such votes. He charged the PDP to seek legal interpretation of INEC's decision and encouraged the election umpire to show courage and show the world that our electoral system has come of age. Now the National Assembly has rescheduled its resumption from September 25th to October 9th. This was contained in a statement issued by the clerk of the National Assembly, Mohammed Omolori, on Sunday. Omolori explained that the postponement was due to activities of primary elections by political parties. The National Assembly proceeded on its annual vacation on July 24th and was expected to resume on September 25th. Meanwhile, the Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party has described the National Assembly's rescheduled resumption of plenary to October 9 as insensitive to pressing national issues. Sesu Akuma, the national spokesman of the party, disclosed this in an interview with journalists in Lagos. Away from that, now the postponement of the resumption of the National Assembly has continued to generate reactions. Now the co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls BBOG advocacy group has lambasted the president of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, over the decision to extend the resumption of its plenary. Isufu maintained that the Senate President Saraki wanted to rule Nigeria, but wasn't interested in putting Nigeria first. The activists accused Saraki of putting Nigeria on hold while he goes about his presidential campaign tour. Now joining live via telephone call is Aisha Yesufu, the co-convener of Bring Back Our Girls. Good afternoon and welcome to PTV today.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're on to PTV today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now first, we got your reactions as regards the postponement of the resumption date for the National Assembly. Now, what are the likely implications of the National Assembly not resuming as scheduled?
Well, before I go on, first and foremost, I think I would like to say that I'm here in my capacity as a Nigerian citizen, as an individual, and not in my capacity as a co-convener of Bring Back Our Girls movement. So I just wanted to let that out of the way. I think for us as Nigerians, we need to get to a place where we begin to take our nation seriously. We have a National Assembly that, because of parties' primaries, have postponed their reconvening, and that's quite unbelievable. That we think it is normal. The fact that there are even people who are arguing and defending it, for me, is just unbelievable. We have a lot of issues on ground. We have the Electoral Act that needs to be worked upon. We have the issue of the budget for INEC. We have the issue of terrorist attacks that have been happening in different parts of the country. We saw a Nigerian citizen, a 25-year-old mother of two, an aid worker that was helping out in Ran that was taken away on March 1st, 2018, being executed by the terrorists. The terrorists have sent in a warning, and they said in 30 days, if nothing was done about that one, they were going to start killing them. They killed one, and they are giving another 30 days before they will start killing the rest of them, including Leah Sharibu. Yet, the National Assembly has not deemed it fit to say what is going on. Let us hold the executive responsible. Let us come and deliberate on the issue of the nation. We have seen where our economy, the numbers that have been coming up from different reports are not good. But yet our politicians, the people that we sent in to deliberate on our issues, are more interested in their personal issues. It takes a whole lot for this country.
Okay, now, but the reason pushed out by the National Assembly is that party primaries are slated within the time frame now. But the argument is that INEC had a few months ago released the timetable for party primaries. Do you have any contrary view to this?
The thing is that the party primaries, it is not today that they know that there are going to be party primaries within a certain frame, right? They had a 4-year notice to this. So from the last primaries, you knew the last party primaries you're going to have will be 4 years from now. It's just like from now, you know, in another 4 years, within this time frame, there's going to be party primaries. So in that case, why don't you work it in such a way that you have your research within this period? Apart from that, you had taken a long recess, you were supposed to have come back, you postponed it, and then you're coming out again to postpone a postponement based on personal issues. Please, let's not forget, there is nowhere and nowhere that issues of party should supersede our national interest. Nigeria is above any individual and above any party. And we have a lot of issues that are pertinent. We have a lot of issues that are on ground. For example, we talk about the budget for INEC. This party primaries that we are going to do, on what are we going to use it for? Is it not for the elections? And that same election, we are saying, oh, there's a budget that needs to be worked upon. Yes, you might say that the executives did not bring in the budget on time and all of that. But right now that we are here, that the executives did not bring the budget on time, are you going to delay it in such a way it will affect the elections that you are having primaries for? Hello? If our National Assembly members were being paid per hour of their sitting, would they really be doing this? We are paying them such exorbitant amount of money, and we expect them to put in the work. Half of the time they are on holiday. The only time they are supposed to see, they are beginning to tell us stories. Why don't they carry their normal research that they have to the time that they will not have time to do their primary elections without taking out of our own time? Because for every hour that members of the National Assembly are sitting, Nigerians are paying through their noses, and it doesn't come cheap. It's one of the most expensive in the world.
Okay. Now, so Nigerians see the postponement as a selfish move on the part of Saraki. Do you have a different view to this?
I didn't get you. Can you repeat that again?
Some Nigerians have seen this postponement as a selfish move on the part of Saraki. Now, do you see a different view to this?
Well, the fact is that the book we have to stop at the table of Saraki. Of Bukola Saraki, because why? He's the head of the National Assembly. He's the Senate president. He's the third person. So no matter what people will see that way, so it is all he's now representing them. It's about their selfish interests. He's going around the country trying to be the president of this country. The other ones are going around whatever constituency of theirs that it is, that they're going around to be either senators or House of Rep members. So at the end of the day, it's all about their selfish interests. What we are saying now is, when are they going to put Nigeria first? When are they truly going to make Nigeria not just in mouth, but in action and in the things that they do? When are we, even as citizens, going to know that we are first in this matter? And that these people that we elect, they are not our employers. We are the employers. They are our employees and should be doing what we have asked them to do, which is to put the country first, which is to put on things that are meant for the country. And until we get there, I'm sorry, we're not going to go anywhere in this country.
Okay, now, if at all there will be any impacts, I mean, if there would be, what are the impacts you think this would have on the 2019 general elections?
Well, before even 2019 election, we have a country to govern. Like I did say to you earlier on, the terrorists have said they have prosecuted one person. I saw the pictures and they're not funny. When you see a young woman of 25 being made to kneel down and the bullet put through her head and the blood coming out of her nose when she was with her eyes open, still staring at you, knowing she left two children, that we wonder why the nation never did anything when their mother was killed. That is an issue. And that has not been enough for the National Assembly to say, let's have an emergency, so let's cut short our recess. We are looking at 2019 election. So we have electoral acts that needs to be worked upon. That they have been, what are we doing right now? The card reader, there is no way we must work in such a way that the card reader is not part of the law. It has to be part of the law. Because right now it is a defining moment. It's a defining tool that has set our election on a path whereby we no longer see ballot boxes snatching. Because even if you snatch it, there's a card reader that's going to, if you stop it, that's going to say not this many people were accredited. So to make it null and void. We are also looking at the fact that what if we do not have enough time to have passed on the budget? INEC needs money. Elections are expensive. They need money to start working. And if they don't have budget, what are they going to work on? Will this now lead to a situation whereby we will not be able to have hold the 2019 election? Where is that going to lead us to? Do we have a situation whereby, okay, so we come May 29th, there's nothing has been done. So these are the issues that are pertinent. These are the issues that are on ground that we really need to focus on. We need to fight. Let the National Assembly members know that it is not about their individual political personal ambition. It is about the ambition of 180 million Nigerians that put them there.
Okay, now, so by what you say now, you subscribe to the call by the APC calling on the National Assembly to resume based on pressing national issues.
I don't subscribe to anything by APC or whatever it is that they are saying. What I am saying is the fact that the National Assembly needs to take the national issues first They need to reconvene and focus on the nation's national interest and not on their own personal interest. APC has its own wahala she needs to go and deal with on its own. So for me, I'm not interested. What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying as an individual. If they do that, the same thing they are saying, good for them. For the first time, they are using what they're supposed to use. Now they should face the presidency and ask them to do the right thing on a lot of issues that they haven't done anything on.
Okay, now, is there any alternative to resuming in October now? Can anything be done?
You said what?
Is there any alternative to the National Assembly resuming in October?
Well, I think their resumption is now in October. That's what they have said. They were supposed to have resumed in September, this month, and they have postponed it to October. Yeah, of course, the reason why a lot of things happen, I must tell you, is that we as citizens of Federal Republic of Nigeria, we have failed Nigeria. We are a very docile bunch of people. So we'll sit down, or some will be defending them, some will be attacking other people who are saying, oh, why are you not reconvening and all of that. Instead of us to do the right thing. If, for example, Nigerians were citizens that knew their onions, that knew their worth, that their national, that the people that they have elected will not take them for granted, we would have not been at the National Assembly right now. By the time they see us at the National Assembly, they are saying today, you either resume, all of you will send you back home, then we come. But then, of course, we are employers who don't even know we are employers, who think of ourselves as slaves. And so we'll keep watching why they do what they need, what they like to do. Until we, the citizens, are ready to occupy the office of the citizen and begin to make demands on those we elected, instead of protecting them from criticism, this is what we'll keep getting.
Okay, now let's move over to Osun elections quickly. Now, what are your thoughts on the INEC pronouncement?
Well, for me personally, my thoughts are this. The election being declared inconclusive, in my own way, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know about it. In my own opinion, it's okay. Because we have less than 300 votes. That is the difference between them. And from the votes that have been cancelled and all of that, we have much more than that. And so let there be, if it's going to be a recount, a rerun have already been set for 27th of this month, right? Then let them do that and vote again. The one thing that must be paramount is that the mandate of the people must be allowed to take place. The voices of the people must be heard. And for me, I think Osun election is a lesson to all of us across Nigeria. First of all, it says to us, every vote counts. Our votes matter. Just when the people will say, oh, our votes don't matter, why go to vote? It matters. We can say what it is. 300 is not the difference where we have somebody who is leading and the other not leading. So every person's vote matters, and the people should come out at any time to defend their votes, to stand for their votes, to vote for the person that they want to come in. And I think Osun elections for this country will be a turning point where we can see that indeed it is the people who actually have the power to decide who rules over them. And 2019, that's what we should be doing.
Okay, now, but let's look at the precedents that was set in Kogi in 2015 when we had a similar issue, and the margin of cancelled votes were more than the difference between the APC and the PDP, which was in favor of the APC then, and then the election was declared inconclusive. But secondly, during the last by-elections in Kogi as well, the Federal House of Reps elections, by-elections, we had the same issue. But this time it was in favor of the APC, and the margin was more than the difference. And then that by-election was not declared inconclusive, despite that 2015 was declared inconclusive because of the same issue. Do you subscribe to all of these precedents now, leading to what happened last weekend?
Well, from the little I know of I recall of the Kogi election was the fact that in the first place there was no voting in those places, right? They were cancelled due to insecurity and all of that. And then in this case there is. But for me, basically, honestly, I'm not holding brief for anybody. Whatever needs to be done, let's just do the right thing and let us do it by the law. That's what I always stand for. Whoever it is for or whoever it is against. But some of those things, if I do remember, I was the first, but the other one, there was no election in those places at all, whereas they had, because of security, those places had been taken out. Whereas this one, there was election and there was cancellation. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, opinions, as far as I'm concerned, don't matter. What matters is ensuring that we do things by the law and ensuring that it is done, it is followed to the last T. And I will always subscribe by the law.
Okay, but how would you rate INEC's performance in the last 2 elections now?
For me, I think I would rate INEC elections very well. They have been coming with different innovative methods to ensure that results are being protected. And for me personally, I think I'm quite glad with what they're doing. But of course, there is a whole lot of room for improvement, and they need to come out and be truly independent in a situation whereby the I in INEC is meant to be independent. They are not dependent on anybody. Like right now, we have issue of budget. If it's possible, and that will have to be through the law, whatever, let them get their money that they don't need to. Just the way National Assembly gets their money and all of that. They don't need to wait through this whole process. When budget is done, we know there's something for election. Let's give them that way. So that in its own way will help them too. And one of the things I really loved about the things they have done, I can't remember the name of the form, but there's a certain form now which is put at every polling unit, where after the whole result and everything, it is written down there. So it's not a matter of whoever is the collation officer, whoever is in charge, they're going somewhere to go and put the vote. You will put in the numbers that have been counted, and everybody can take a picture of that. And you know, the way things are going, and the fact that they are trying to be innovative to catch up with the trends that are coming up, for me, it gladdens my heart. It means there is room for progress. And whenever they are being criticized, they take it on board and work on it. For example, on the issue of smartphones being used in polling, inside the polling booth, which we have found that a lot of people take pictures of what they have taken so that they can be paid in terms of the vote buying. And this is something that they have stopped. You know, when you see somebody trying, and it's not all the way there. There's the fact that they are listening to criticism, they are listening to the yearnings of the people, they are listening to citizens and what is going on, and they are making amends and bringing forth solutions. That gladdens my heart and gives me hope.
Okay, finally now, considering how close Osun elections is to the next year's general election, what are the lessons you think that the political class and the electorate should pick out from the Osun elections?
I think for the political class, the lesson I would expect them to take from it is the fact that citizens are angry. And citizens are tired of being taken for granted. Where they think they have a hold over the citizens, that they will not do anything. They will always go by the head mentality. Whoever is in power or whoever is the big party, I think they begin to not go by that. We saw a situation whereby we had 3 candidates who had quite a number of votes. We had the Omishore of SDP, I believe, who had 120-something thousand votes, which is huge. And that should tell them that citizens are ready to go with candidates that they believe in. On the part of the electorate, I think we have a lot of lessons to learn. First of all is the belief that, it is always going to be APC and PDP and that's it. No. With this number, somebody came in and put quite a number of votes. That means if you just make a difference to identify someone who is good wherever that person is and vote for the person can emerge as winner. And I think another lesson for us is to understand that every single one of our votes count. They count the votes and they matter. And that because that's first of all why politicians are buying it. And with the fact that see the difference between the leading party and the one that is following is about 300 and something, it means every vote counts. And also for the electorate to understand that their own vote can be the deciding vote. That your single vote can be the deciding vote. I think also most importantly is for citizens to know that every of the PVC that you have never used before, or it has always been in your house, you've not bothered to go to vote. This is the time to use it because it will matter, it will be a decider, it will be a deciding factor. Let's go towards 2019 election knowing that we are going to bring in a candidate who is capable, who has capacity and character.
Thank you very much, Aisha Yesufu, for coming live on PTV today. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'll be speaking with Aisha Yesufu, co-convener. We'll bring back our girls, and she was live on the news. About to wrap this up now, the People's Democratic Party has begun the screening of all the 13 presidential aspirants ahead of the October 6 presidential primaries in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The screening of the aspirants commenced at 10 a.m. at the national headquarters of the party in Abuja. That's as much we can take on PTV today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Daniel Waboso.
Oh,
my God. Oh, oh,
oh. Election is when we elect our leaders who represent us. And election is my right as a citizen of this country.
Election is a voting process. Election is a voting process, like vote a candidate for a leadership.
It's more like my right to choose the country's leader. My own part to play about it.
Say from layman point of view, is any activity that is aimed at putting people in a position of authority.
It's a platform, an avenue for people to elect those or get into offices, those that they want to represent them.
An election is simple now. It's just people choosing one or two people. The society choosing a number of people to represent, to lead, to coordinate, to do administration. All right.
And now you want my trust once more.
Before you can say, what an election is, there has to be an electorate. Somebody has to, vote, you understand, in an election for people of authority to get into power.
The vote is the power of the electorate. All right, so the people brings their power to the table during an election. That's what it is.
I think it's more like us having a say of who goes there to represent us, of who we talk to, that will guide us aright, and give us the benefit of that. Oh, let me not use the word a past one. Or give us the benefit that what we need is what we're going to get.
Between the electorate and the election itself, the electorate are supposed to willingly vote according to their conscience, according to what they feel that the capabilities of whoever they want to elect into offices can do.
The electorate, they have the power to elect their leaders because this is a democratic setting, and you know what the meaning of democracy is? Democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. So it is our right as the electorate to elect our leaders.
Only God can judge you now. Only God can judge you now.
Come on, you can't buy my right. It is my right as a citizen, and you can't buy it with money. No amount of money can buy it. So because by the time you sell your right to vote, you're selling your birthright. That's the way I see it.
I think that is laughable. I don't think you need to pay to get my vote, but rather you need to earn my vote. My vote is free. I mean, I don't have to collect anything from you to vote for you. If you tell me what you are going to do, and I am okay, and I believe that voting you, will mean realizing such aims and objectives, then I will cast my vote for you. I don't need to take money to vote for you.
That's a lot of money. My power is all I have got. All right, so if it's like I'm selling myself to you. If you pay me and I give you my power, my vote is my power. So it means you are ready to pay a whole lot of money. It's like I'm selling myself to you as a slave. You have total control over me. So that would be difficult to sell, actually. That will be very, very. In fact, it's difficult to explain. Well, but it's also simple to explain. If I give you my power, I have sold myself to you. So why should I do that? It's my vote during an election is my power, is everything I am.
It's not a matter of money, because it's about my generation now, trying to cause a change. There is no money whatsoever that, one has to pay to get the right leader. The money can finish, But when the money finishes, what happens? What's next? That's what we're looking at.
You can only offer me your conscience and nothing else. The conscience that I have to believe that when you get in there, you represent me well. I don't believe in selling of votes, and I can't do that. So my vote only can appeal to your conscience, and that is exactly what it is. If I find out that you cannot represent me well based on your antecedents, I can't at all vote you in, no matter how much you're giving to me.
I don't need anybody's money to vote. If I want to vote, I'll vote for someone I choose to vote for. Not because of the money.
See, all I wanna say is that they don't really care about us.
That is the bane of the problem, the bane of the issue here. Collecting money and then selling your votes. You're selling a whole generation of yours. Very wrong. So people should vote according to their conscience. No matter how much they're giving you, let them go with their money. Vote according to your conscience. And when the person comes in, he will know definitely that he did not spend any money. He has come to do work for you. And he will definitely do the work. But when he buys your vote, what do you expect him to do? Definitely nothing. If I come to you and I buy votes from you, you don't expect me to do anything for you. So if they should have any expectation on the incoming administration, they should, from this very moment, begin to reorientate themselves, begin to understand that once they say their votes, they don't have any moral justification again to ask for the amenities that these people are supposed to come in to provide for them.
They should know that, when you sell your vote, you shouldn't hold your leaders accountable for anything. Because at the end of the day, when they buy you, you are electing the wrong leaders. And it will in turn rub off on what will benefit our citizens of this country. Because what we're suffering from in this country is as a result of politicians buying a right to vote them in. That is what we're suffering from. So it should be discouraged. It should be discouraged.
If you look at the lifestyle of people who sells their vote, they are in complete penury, living in squalor. They have no hope. Leadership that continues to give out money to buy people's vote in an election will continue to exploit the people. They would continue to refuse to do what they should do. They would continue to keep back developmental projects that is supposed to empower the people and continue to use them as piecemeals during election.
The common understanding is that once you sell your vote, it's like you said your future and you said the future of the unborn. Because one, if you sell your vote, the person who bought your vote from you bought it, with a price and his personal money. And he will have to do business to recoup his money. And by the time he's recouping his money, you will be the one to suffer.
Okay, you look at the children, you look at yourself. Are you really in the right place? Is the country in the right position? Can we compete with other countries out there? When you collect the money now and it finishes, what's happened next? So I think with that right frame of mind, people tend to think twice before they collect money, because at the end of the day, the money finishes, but the person is still there for the 4 years.
So you shouldn't allow politicians buy you over. That is what we are suffering from as citizens, because we elect the wrong people. So at the end of the day, they're not accountable to us. By the time they buy you, definitely they will recoup their money. So as a result, you will not enjoy any form of amenities. What they are supposed to do for us, of course they cannot do it for us, because they are like investors. You invest money, you want to recoup it. So you can't hold them responsible for anything.
Why you keep on deceiving the people, my brother, my sister?
When you get politicians that want to come into power by crook or by any means,
one thing is them having doubts, them not having the consciousness of producing results. When you won't produce results, you tend to pay for something. When they pay them off, they feel they can do anything there because you are being bought over, so you don't have authority anymore.
Of course, they are businessmen. That is what they are. Businessmen coming to sell, coming to buy. So when they come to you, tell them that you are not selling. They will definitely come They don't have any other thing. They don't have nothing whatsoever to offer the country except that money that they have, with which they will come to buy your vote. And when they enter there, they don't do anything for you.
Why don't we work together so the future will be brighter?
Money politics is the worst type of politics you can experience or have anywhere in the world. So our challenge is actually coming to the place of realization, of understanding what you are, what you carry, and who you are. If we can get to that place easily, then all of this would not even come up.
People should begin to, realize that once these people are voted in on the basis of having body of vote, I'm telling you, they will not do anything for you.
As a nation, we should know that those who are buying votes in the first instance do not mean well for the country. And if it is possible, the whole country should revolt against them. Once you see anybody, soliciting to buy your vote, that should be enough reason to reject that person or that political party, as the case may be.
If you vote for money, at the end of the day, the person will be doing anyhow in the power, and you have the right to say anything.
The value of my vote is enormous. It's about the change I want in my country. It's about a whole lot of things, the generation at large. We're talking about what we want to see, the change we want to see in our country. Look at the Western country out there. We are not just closed. The education is down, everything is not working, so we need something to work in this country.
My voter's card has power because it is my right. It is my right, and nobody can buy it.
I dedicate this one to all of the shady politicians. Wake up, promise and fail, and they make the people live in harsh conditions. Yeah.
I can tell you of a place, lovely as a pretty face, rustling leaves and bowing trees underneath the evening breeze.
With a population of about 15 million people, Gbagi is the name of the language of this ethnic group predominantly found in central Nigeria. The Gbagi language is part of the Kwa subdivision of the Niger-Congo language family. Gbagi is the most populated ethnic and indigenous group in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. They are also found in Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, and Kogi states in central Nigeria area. The word Gbagi, which the Gbagi people are famously called, is the name of a particular yam in Gbagi. Principally, there are three types of Gbagi: Gbagi Niger, Gbari Genge, and Gbari Yama. The Gbari people are predominantly farmers, but they're also hunters, while some are involved making traditional arts and craft products such as pottery and woodwork like mortar and pestle.
Making kites from paper bags, flying high above the clouds, dancing in the village square, lovers meet from far and near.
Historically, the Gbagi practice a patrilineal kinship system. The lowest tier of authority is found in the extended family compound led by the oldest male. The compounds consist of small huts and rectangular buildings. The Osu King is the highest tier of authority in the Gbagi settlement and is assisted by a group of elders. They are known to be noble, transparent, peace-loving, accommodating and warm. Their hospitable and cordial nature earned them the phrase Muyishi Gwari Gwari, which means let's do it like the Gbagis. The Gbagi people have emerged as a unique breed among Nigerians. Their culture shows how much they have come to terms with the universe. The favorite food of the Gbagis is known as the yize, made from the guinea corn, to form yiwo, a special drink which is used to drink the nalodo, a spicy soup made with locust beans, and the famous dress is called ajisida, made from local cotton and traditionally woven and dyed by their skillful dressmakers. Some of the popular festivals is the Agbamaya Festival and the Yibaji. The Agbamaya Festival is a celebration performed to welcome the rain during the raining season, while the Yibaji is a traditional Christmas celebration.
Where the owl is never safe and crickets cry to end the day.
The Gbagi people are adherents of Islam, Christianity and traditional African religion. In the traditional African religions, the Gbagi believe in a god called Shikwe, one who was there before their ancestors, but they also devote themselves to appeasing deities of the god such as the Megiru. Many Gbagi believe in reincarnation. Islam became more prominent among the people after the Fulani Jihad, while Christianity was introduced to the people by the Sudan Interior Mission, also known locally as the Evangelical Church of West Africa, and the Baptist missionaries from the western part of Nigeria. Prominent individuals from Gbagi descent include former military rulers Ibrahim Babangida and Abdulsalami Abubakar, and Nigerian multi-instrumentalist, singer-songwriter and composer B.E.Z. Bez, whose song you hear on the background.
I can tell you of a place, lovely as a pretty face, rustling leaves and bowing trees underneath the evening breeze.
Plastic bags. I'll say every day.
Plastic bag. Wow. I might say every day.
There is nothing I make use of in my shop as leather. I use about 2 packages of leather every day.
Packing several things, clothes. It could be clothes at times. It could just be maybe items from the market, as in when you buy foodstuffs. Even packing other plastic bottles too. And virtually anything that needs to be packed. Most of the times we use plastic bags for them.
If I'm going to somewhere like the market or a shop or something, I will definitely have to use a plastic bag.
For me, my business revolves around that. You can imagine coming to buy a pair of shoes and I just give you in your hands. What will happen? Will I ask you to put it in your handbag? No, I can't do without it. And then what if I come to the market and I want to buy tomato or whatever? What happens? Where will I put my stuff?
Leather, they help my business in many ways because of many customers, they cannot buy your market without leather now. They may not be, it will not be portable for them to carry it to their home. So there is portability being using leather in terms of putting the materials, putting the goods that you have sold to the customers so that it will be easy to carry to the car for them.
Because I need it for everything. I need it for my waist bin, I need to pack some things, I need it for everything.
I'm a fashion designer. Most times if my clients want to see me, I go with my bags because when I come here, I always come with clothes. That's the reason I'm using it.
Well, it depends on the quality of the plastic bag and the size. For instance, if it's like the big polythene bags, we recycle. We could still use it to maybe pack clothes later. We could still use it at home for maybe pack refuse before we dispose of it. But if it's the smaller ones that maybe you used to carry, like something like fish or things that will still leave stain or smells in it, we dispose of it immediately.
Well, if it's perishable things, I'll definitely throw it. But if it's like about clothes, we usually keep it in a basket in my house, so we can use it for other things. Yes.
I don't know, but I think a long while.
Oh, this question, Oga. The question is too big. Leather can take, to me, maybe 1 year. It will decompose within a year.
Like a month? I don't know. Like a month.
My God, I'm sure it takes long because I think those are the things that you usually see that last a very long time inside all of the refuse dump and all those things. Most times when you go to pack stuff from a refuse dump, some other things might have decomposed over time, but of course the plastic bags would just be there sticking out. So I'm sure it takes a long time.
I have no idea.
I guess for my little age, or for my little staying in this earth, I've never come across that one. Plastic bag. It don't decay easily. I've never seen it.
Well, how long it decomposes? How long? Because okay, well, at least from my own little knowledge of plastic, I know it's not biodegradable, so I know it takes a long time. Maybe I say 50 years thereabouts for it to actually decompose because of the kind of material it's made out of. So, but I'm not sure about, but I know it's a very long time actually.
Wow. A month? Or a year. It depends. A year.
That's impossible. Hi. That's impossible. No.
I cannot agree. It takes 150 years to decompose in the soil. So I may believe it since I don't have any knowledge on it.
You don't say. Then we should reconsider, really.
I'm just hearing it for the first time.
For a nylon bag to decompose after 100 and something years, I don't know. Maybe only a scientist can tell that, not me.
That's a lot of pollution for the ecosystem actually, because since it doesn't decompose on its own, definitely even in because okay, well I dispose of it through the waste bin and all that, but a lot of people just throw it in the gutters. So you at least I know that will definitely clog up the drainages, and even for in fact, even to try to like quantify the amount of damage. Well, I can't. I really can't quantify, but I know it's a lot. It's a lot of damage to the ecosystem.
It caused erosion. I think that's which I've come across before. Erosion during rainy season, when you drop it, like when you keep them anyhow, like in a dustbin, and it rain, can easily cause erosion.
Well, I'm not really sure of like exact effects, but I shall know that every single thing in this world has its side effects. It has, even this microphone might have its own side effects. So I'm not really sure, but I'm very sure it does. It has side effects.
Plastic bag? No, I don't think so. It's not possible, honestly.
No. No, I can't.
I don't know how it's going to look like, but I don't think I can stay without that plastic bag. Because if I did not, then my client, they will insult me then, I'll shoe. They will cost my life. So I don't think I can stay without using plastic bag. That's true.
Tribal mark is the scratching, etching, burning, or cutting designs, pictures, or words into the skin as a permanent body notification or modification.
The practice of tribal marks have been in existence for hundreds of years, and they are not peculiar to Nigeria, not even Africa. During the transatlantic slave trade, tribal identification and facial stripes became important as many repatriated slaves later reunited with their communities by looking at facial stripes.
The major purpose of tribal marks is for identification of a tribe, family, or patrilineal heritage, symbols of beauty, creativity, and keeping of mischievous people alive, which is known as Ila Abiku among the Yoruba tribe of Nigeria.
Yorubas trace the origin of tribal mark to a certain king named Shango, who sent 2 slaves to a distant country for an important mission. When the slaves returned, Shango, the king, found that one slave had achieved successfully what he had been sent to do, while the other had accomplished nothing. The king therefore rewarded the first with high honors and ordered the second to receive 122 razor cuts all over his body, which was to serve as a punishment for flaunting the king's assignments.
But when the scars healed, the appearance of the face of the slave was remarkable, which gave the slave a greatly elegant look, which took the fancy of the king's wives.
Shango therefore ordered that cuts should in future be given not as punishment, but as a sign of royalty, and he placed himself at once in the hands of his subjects to get the marks. However, he could only bear 2 cuts, and so from that day, 2 cuts on the arm have been a sign of royalty. This then introduced various other cuts as marks to different tribes.
In traditional Yoruba societies, every child is born into a patrilineal clan called Idile Baba. In Yoruba language, the clans share clan names, Orile or Oriki, which means poetry or taboos, Ewo, and facial marks, Ila.
The facial marks on the child assigns the child full clan membership rights. The children with facial marks are called Okola. Families or individuals lacking the normal features consistent with the tribe are not considered as acquiring full standing as agents in Yoruba society. They would also lack the capacity for meaningful behavior such as grouping.
Each tribe of the Yoruba ethnic group had different inscription patterns which appears in different sizes and shapes at different locations within the face or body. The location and position of the mark's inscription depends on the tribe and culture. The tribal marks could be inscribed on the breast, arm, lap, or buttocks, but they are usually on the face.
Popular among the Yoruba tribal marks are Bele. The Bele style is 3 longitudinal lines inscribed on the cheeks. The variant includes Bele Ife. It is peculiar to the Ile Ife people, Bele Ijebu, and Bele Ijesha, and other variants of Bele. Owu tribal marks consist of 6 incisions on each side of the cheeks and peculiar to the indigenes of Owu, an historical city in Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, Nigeria. The Owu tribal mark was inscribed on the cheeks of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Gombo style, also known as Keke, consists of multiple straight and curved lines about a half an inch apart inscribed on the cheeks on both sides of the mouth. Indigenes of Ogbomoso in Oyo State are usually identified by the Gombo or Keke style of tribal marks.
Abaja can be both a basic and also a complex style. It is basic from its either 3 or 4 horizontal stripes on the cheeks. The Abaja style also consists of 12 horizontal lines, 6 lines per cheek. It is often referred to as Abaja Alafin Mefa. The Abaja style of Yoruba tribal mark was inscribed on the cheeks of Lamidi Adeyemi II, the Alafin Oyo. Other Yoruba tribal marks include Ture, Mande, Bamu, and Jangbadi.
The use of tribal mark as a means of identification and identification among the Yoruba tribe is no longer a norm, and some Yoruba states have enacted certain laws that prohibit the use of marks. Violators of the law are liable to fines or imprisonment or both. In Oyo State, for example, the prohibition of tribal marks is an integral part of the state child rights law, a law that imposes a fine of 1 month imprisonment or both for violation. According to the law, no person shall tattoo or make a skin mark or cause any tattoo or skin mark to be made on a child.
Prominent people with tribal marks include Olusegun Obasanjo, Lamidi Adeyemi II, Ayo Fayose, Adeboyega Dosumu, Amororo I, and Christopher Alao Akala, Alpha Begore, and King Sunny Ade, to mention but a few.
Elections should not be a do-or-die affair. There's no basis for violence in an election. If any politician asks them to go and do violence because they want to pay them, let them ask them, any politician, to go and bring his son or daughter to lead the violence.
I want to employ the young people in the forthcoming election not to fight. They should be orderly. At the same time, they must be vigilant.
I support the campaign or vote and not fight. Let us vote peacefully and shun any form of conflict.
I like truth and I dey straightforward. My name is Innocent Dibia. They call me Two-Face before, but now they call me Two-Baba. Yeah, we're here in Osun State for the Vote Not Fight campaign. And we're here to just let the youth know that, let them not be used, let them, go out there, get their PVCs, and then, go and vote for the candidate of their choice. And do it peacefully, and so vote, not fight. Election, not be war. All right, let's go there.
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download, it's free, it's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online.
Good evening and welcome to PTV World Desk. I am Daniel Waboso. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission has arraigned the former Director General of Small and Medium Scale Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria. Bature Umar Masari was arraigned on the 27-count charge bordering on money laundering and embezzlement. Masari was alleged to have fraudulently awarded constituency project contracts to the tune of 184 million naira. He was also accused of receiving the sum of 50 million in November 2014 from one of the contractors and distributed part of the sum to some other persons. The act contravenes the provision of Section 10, subsection A1, punishable under Corruption, Section 10, subsection 11 of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act of 2000. And still at the home front now in Osun elections, the All Progressives Congress has accused the People's Democratic Party of hypocrisy on issues relating to Osun elections. It wondered why the party that was silent when the Kogi governorship election of 2015 was declared inconclusive at a time that late Abubakar Audu was leading by 240,867 votes to PDP's 119,514 votes. APC spokesman Yekini Nabena recalled that the margin of 41,353 favored APC, but INEC ordered a rerun because 49,953 cancelled votes were higher than the 41,000 plus votes. On election day, it accused the opposition of deploying vote-buying templates while accusing other political parties of irregularities during Saturday's inconclusive elections. The party claimed that PDP agents bought votes for its candidate, Senator Ademola Adeleke, particularly in Ede local government councils. And away now to Kenya, where Kenya's governor, Okoth Obado, has been charged in court with aiding and abetting the brutal murder of his ex-girlfriend, a pregnant student. The married governor pleaded not guilty to the charge. Obado's arrest followed weeks of public anger after the body of Sharon Oteino, 26, was found in a forest. A post-mortem revealed she had possibly been raped and stabbed 8 times in the neck, abdomen, and back. She lost her unborn child during the attack. Obado, the governor of Migori County, has been remanded in custody pending the outcome of his bail application on Tuesday. Kenya Standard newspaper reported that Oteino's mother, Melinda Atuma, was tearful in court and struggled to control her emotions. And in DRC Congo now, Ebola prevention activities have been suspended in the Democratic Republic of Congo, city of Beni, after a deadly rebel attack. Treatment centers will stay open, but vaccinations and the tracing of people who have been in contact with suspected Ebola patients have stopped for now. 100 people have died in the current outbreak in the east of the country, the health ministry said. It began in July and is the 10th to hit the country since 1976. And British Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab said on Monday that he was confident that the United Kingdom will make progress and eventually clinch a Brexit deal with the European Union. He told the radio show, "We keep on negotiations in good faith. We try and get the best deal we can, but we are ready for all eventualities." And in Germany, German Chancellor Angela Merkel admitted on Monday that she had misguided her response to allegations of a far-right sympathies against Germany's spy master after resolving a row over his redeployment that threatened to pull her government apart. BFV intelligence agency head Hans-Georg Maassens the microscope this month after he questioned the authenticity of video footage showing radicals hounding migrants in the eastern city of Chemnitz. Merkel's Christian Democrats, their Bavarian Christian Social Union sister party, and the third coalition partner, the center-left Social Democrats, agreed last week to transfer Maassen to a senior role in the Interior Ministry. And now a second woman has come forward with allegations of sexual misconduct against President Donald Trump's U.S. Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh. Deborah Ramirez, a Yale University classmate of the judge, told the New York that Kavanaugh had exposed his genitals at a dormitory party. The judge has denied both allegations, labeling the latest a smear. The makeup of the 9 judges Supreme Court is crucial as it has the final say on often highly contentious laws. For Kavanaugh can take up the vacant seat, he has to be approved by the 21-strong Senate Judiciary Committee and then the whole Senate. Also, Bill Cosby, the comedian once known as America's Dad, faces the prospect of spending the rest of his life in prison over sexual assault charges. The 2-day sentencing hearing on Montgomery County Courthouse in Pennsylvania commenced on Monday. At a retrial in April, the 81-year-old actor was found guilty of 3 counts of sexual assault against ex-basketball player Andre Constad in 2004. Constad said she had believed him as a mentor before he abused her. In 2011 and 17, she described being given pills that left her frozen and unable to stop Cosby from assaulting her. Now, the man behind the meeting at Trump Tower, which is central to the Russian coalition inquiry in the U.S., says that he wishes he had never sent the email that set it up. Members of Donald Trump's election team met a Russian lawyer in 2016 to get dirty on rival Hillary Clinton. But the British publicist Rob Goldstone has told BBC the materials was very generic and he was highly embarrassed. The special counsel is looking at targeted Russian links with the Trump team. The President Trump has denied any investigation, repeatedly calling the investigation a witch hunt. Goldstone has played a pivotal role in Trump's visit to Moscow for 2013 Miss Universe pageant, after which an unsubstantial allegation emerged, denied by the president, that he had been filmed in a hotel with prostitutes. And now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will meet with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The official, who spoke on condition of anonymity, did not provide further details. Egyptian officials could not immediately be reached for comment. Netanyahu travels to New York on Tuesday and will also meet with U.S. President Donald Trump. Netanyahu said Sisi met in public for the first time in 2017. Egypt was the first of a handful of Arab countries to recognize Israel under a U.S.-sponsored peace accord in 1979, and the two countries maintain close coordination on security. Now, Russia is to send new anti-craft missiles to Syria a week after Syrian forces accidentally shot dead a Russian aircraft during an Israeli airstrike. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said that the S-300 surface-to-air missile defense system would be delivered within 2 weeks. 15 Russian military personnel were killed when the reconnaissance aeroplane was down on 17 September. Syria and Russia say rebel was to blame, but denies responsibility. Now, opposition candidate Ibrahim Mohamed Solih has won the Maldives in presidential election in a surprise defeat of President Abdullah Yemen. He took 136,616 votes to beat Yemen, who received 96,132 provisional results showed. Yemen, who has been accused of crushing dissent in the archipelago, admitted defeat, saying he accepted the result. Maldives is key battleground, the rivalry between China and India. The US and India welcomed Soli's win. Yemen had drawn the Maldives closer to China, which has stepped up its presence in the Indian Ocean in the recent years. Many opposition politicians in Maldives have been jailed under Yemen, and the US and the European Union had threatened sanctions before the vote if the democratic situation do not improve. You're watching PTV World Desk. We're going to short break now. We'll come back. More stories.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go, anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
Welcome back. The main jihadist group in northwest Syria will announce its disposition on a Turkish-Russian deal over IDLIB in the next few days. It said on Monday, with its acceptance of rejection vital to the success of efforts to contain the war. Tahrir al-Sham's stance will be critical to last week's deal, which has for now averted a full-scale Syrian government offensive in IDLIB, which, along with adjacent areas of the northwest, is the rebels' last major foothold. The agreement requires radical insurgents, including Tahrir al-Sham, to withdraw from a demilitarized zone along with the front lines by October 15. Tahrir al-Sham was formed on early 2017 as an alliance of jihadist factions, including the former Al-Qaeda affiliate, the Nusra Front, and it was a large armed presence throughout IDLIB, including along the Turkish border. And in Miami now, Miami's Army chief on Monday warned against foreign interference as the world leaders gather at the United Nations to find ways to uphold the country's powerful generals accountable for atrocities against Rohingya Muslims last year. In his first public comment on the subject since a report by a UN fact-finding mission this month, Min Aung Hlaing said Myanmar, abetted by UN pact, were one that talks to meddle in international affairs, caused misunderstanding that remains made during a trip to Miami's northeast of Sunday were also published in a military-run newspaper on Monday. The major spokesman could not immediately be reached for comments. And now a mud volcano has erupted in Azerbaijan, spending plumes of black smokes and flames up to 30 meters into the sky. Government officials say cracks up to the 40 meters deep have appeared in the area after the Otman Bozdag volcano came active on Sunday. The mud volcano, which is said to be the world's second largest is located in the capital, Baku. It was not immediately clear if it posed any danger to local residents. Azerbaijan's Ministry of Ecology and Ministry of Natural Resources had reported 2 eruptions which are expected to continue for some time. Social media users have been sharing videos of the unusual events. Now, Hong Kong has banned all small political parties that campaign for the territory's independence, alongside the Hong Kong National Party pose a threat to national security. Under the so-called one country, two system formula, Hong Kong enjoys a high degree of autonomy and certain freedoms not available in China. A ban comes amid growing differences concerns those freedoms are being eroded under pressure from Beijing. It is the first time that the territory has banned a political party since it was returned to China from the UK. Now, Iran's intelligence minister says a number of suspects have been arrested in connection with Saturday's gun attack on a military parade in Avaz. Mahmoud Alazi said a large number of network behind the attack, which left 25 people dead, have been caught. He was speaking at the funeral ceremony for the victims, attended by thousands. The deputy head of Revolutionary Guard, meanwhile, warned the U.S. and Israel to expect a devastating response, accusing them of involvement. Iran's president alleged on Sunday that the gunmen were armed by a Gulf state allied with the U.S. The U.S. condemned the incident and denied any responsibility. You're watching PTV World Desk. You can watch us on the go anywhere across the world via our mobile app. It's PTV Nigeria. Download it on Google Play and iOS stores. You can also watch us live via our website. It's www.ptvng.com/live. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms, PTV_NG on Twitter and Instagram.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
My name is Carlo Emeto. I'm the Public Relations Officer, Directorate of Road Traffic Services. For news, safety, and security information, watch People's Television.
Soldiers helping Nigerian forces fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are confused. Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Under the law, no religious body in Nigeria validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is.
My name is Co-Commander Wobin Ayubagora. I am the Sector Commander at Federal Road Safety Corps, FCT Sector Command. For latest information about road safety and security, watch People's TV.
Welcome back. And in world business now, Versace, the Italian fashion house founded by Gianni Versace 40 years ago, is set to be bought by Michael Kors. The U.S. fashion group has agreed to buy the Italian firm in a deal worth about 1.7 billion euros. The Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera first reported the impending sale earlier on Monday. The Versace family still owns 80% of the company. 4 years ago, it sold 20% stake to U.S. private equity group Blackstone. Versace and Blackstone have both declined to comment on the deal. Last year, Michael Kors bought Jimmy Choo, the luxury shoemaker founded in London, for almost 900 million pounds. And China has accused the U.S. of trade bullying after a new round of U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods kicked in. The U.S. imposed tariffs on a further $200 billion worth of Chinese products, the largest round yet in the escalating trade war between the economic superpowers. The tariffs are in response to what the U.S. says are unfair trading practices by China. Beijing has retaliated with tariffs on $600 billion of U.S. goods in an official white paper reported by the official China news agency. China said the U.S. was employing trade bullyism practices, intimidating other countries through economic measures and hurting the global economy. And in sports now, the Tigers, Nigeria's female basketball team, made history at the ongoing FIBA World Cup, Women's World Cup in Spain, as they stunned Turkey 74-68 in the Group B game decided on Sunday in Tenerife. It was Nigeria's first ever FIBA Women's World Cup victory and the first time the female team would defeat any European opponent. With the victory, Nigerian side, nicknamed the Tigress, put themselves in a strong position to finish second in Group B. Sarah Ogoke shot the highest points for Nigeria, as her with 22 points helped propel the Tigress against their formidable counterpart, Evelyn Akator, also impressed with a 13-point, 10-rebound double-double. And the Ballon d'Or for the best female player of the year will be awarded for the first time at the end of 2018. The prestigious award has been presented to a male player every year since Stanley Matthews won the inaugural accolade in 1956. A list of 15 nominees for the Women's Prize will be announced in October by French football magazine, alongside a 30-strong male list. This year's award ceremony will take place in Paris on 3rd of December. In tennis now, German side Alexander Zverev beat South Africa Kevin Anderson 6-7, 7-5, 10-7 as Team Europe completed a victory over Team World on the final day of Lever Cup exhibition event in Chicago. Roger Federer also beat John Isner 6-7, 7-6, 10-7 as Europe retained the trophy 13-8. Earlier, Federer and Zverev had lost their doubles rubber to Isner and fellow American Jack Stock. European led 7-5 overnight with 3 points for a win on the final day. That meant Isner and Stock's opener 6-4, 7-6, 11-9 win in Sunday's doubles edge Team World in front 8-7 before Swiss great Federer, the world number 2, and Zverev, the world ranked 5, swung things decisively in Europe's favor. Finally, with football now, Manchester United midfielder Paul Pogba says he wants the team to be able to attack when they play at home. United were held to a 1-0 draw at Old Trafford by Wolves on Saturday on the back of a 3-0 defeat by Tottenham in their previous home game. He said, and I quote, "We are at home and we should play much better against Wolves. We are here to attack," said Pogba. When we play like that, it's easier for us. United went into the game against Wolves having won 3 away games in a row, including Wednesday's Champions League win in Switzerland, and took the lead against the Premier League newcomers through Fred after Pogba's assists. And that's the much we have on PTV World Desk. Many thanks for watching. I'm Daniel Waboso.
On Facebook, like our page and share our posts at People's TV NG. On Twitter, follow us at PTV_NG. Follow us on Instagram at PTVNG. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, People's TV. Visit our website, www.ptvng.com. Subscribe now and join the conversation online. People's TV, People's Preferred Station.
Oh my God! Oh,
Elections should not be a do or die affair. There's no basis for violence in election. If any politician asks them to go and do violence because they want to pay them, let them ask them, any politician, to go and bring his son or daughter to lead the violence.
I want to employ the young people in the forthcoming election not to fight. They should be orderly. At the same time, they must be vigilant.
I support the campaign or vote and not fight. Let us vote peacefully and shun any form of conflict.
Truth and I, they're straightforward. My name is Innocent Dibia. They call me Two-Face before, but now they call me Two-Baba. Yeah, we're here in Osun State for the Vote Not Fight campaign. And we're here to just let the youth know that, let them not be used, let them, go out there, get their PVCs, and then, go and vote for the candidate of their choice. And do it peacefully, and so vote, not fight. Election, not be war. All right, let's go there.
The brain could be an article of decoration to some, while for others a tool of breakthrough, capable of breaking through the shackles and spells of ignorance. Hail the man among men, the man whose knowledge flows like an unstoppable stream, whose contributions to his pool of knowledge drops like a snow in the winter. An intellectual and well-rounded professor, telling us a story today as a 3-year serving Vice-Chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Michael Umale Adiku.
My name is Professor Michael Adiku, the Vice-Chancellor, University of Abuja. I'm from a village called Ijege in Edumoga, in Okpoku local government area of Benue State. So that's where I am from, and sometimes we could go to catch birds in the bush, and there are certain things we are using. There's a plant called Landolfia. They even sell the seed along the road, and we add lime to it. We use it to catch birds. So I was very ingenious as a child. And that has actually affected my life. Most of those things later, when I went to the university, I decided to use them for research. Yes. And so it was easy for me to publish because my childhood has been filled with a lot of activities. There's a proverb that says, the money tells the day. So what you do as a child also affects what you become at your later age in life. In my childhood, I was a village boy. I played with a lot of things. And in those days, we could just get guinea corn stem. I want to make a car out of it. When I told you that I'm from a village, environment. My parents were village people. They never went to school. Are you understanding? But at a point when we were allowed to go to primary school, I felt very happy. I attended the village primary school. But of course, maybe I was a bit, a little gifted. When it was time to write common entrance, in those days, I did very well. I remember when I went to secondary school, I was number 3 on the merit list. Yes, and I went to Federal Government College, Jos. So that should tell you that I was not just a washout. My village background did not affect me, and I've been progressing. Let me tell you what is good about African life. From our background, we ate together with our parents. These days, every person goes to the kitchen to take his or her own food. In our time, it was not like that. You eat with your parents. If there are visitors, you eat with them. We all ate from the same pot. The traditional African way of existence. That was what we did when I was young. And even these days, I tell my wife, my children should do the same so that they love each other. And that continues.
The Benin man fondly reminisces his childhood, his that of a mama's boy. He learnt a lot and gave credence to his village upbringing. Giving credit to this, his educational background.
I attended a primary school, a Roman Catholic school, in a place called Utonko in Benue State. After that, I went to Federal Government College, Jos. And then I finished that year also. I went to University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Now I finished in 1986. As a pharmacist, I read pharmacy. I had earlier gone to Benue to get what they call internship. you do a year. But decided to go back to Nsukka because I was given opportunity also at their medical center. So with that, I thought I could combine it with my master's, and that's exactly what I did. When I finished my internship, I went for NYSC in Kwara of those days. And when I finished from Kwara, I went back to Benue State and became a hospital pharmacist. That's what I did in 1990, and then went back to Nsukka.
He experienced cultural shock venturing into the tertiary institution.
Our own university was a kind of mixed feeling, mixed multitude, and a lot of things. I remember I went to the east, but I'm from Benue. I didn't meet too many Benue people at Nsukka. That was the first issue. The other issue is that we were in an era between the old and the new. If you look at Nigerian education from the early 60s and the rest of them, most of the students were fed very well. Half chicken, full chicken. That was their experience. Many of them lived alone. And by the time it came to our time in the mid-80s, I finished secondary school in 1981, entered the university the same year. Now, within that era, at a point, the federal government had to stop cooking in the university for students. And I think there was some kind of riot or all these things that students do. But that didn't help it. They still stopped it. So we had a feeling of the past, and then we had an experience that was a bit shocking. You know, you have to now look at how do you eat. They privatized the kitchen, the cooks were sacked, and issues like that. I think for some universities, the cooks became security people. But I must say that I was in a strange environment. If you're in an environment where you cannot speak their language, you can't go to as a teacher. And because of my village background, I never went to see any teacher. I just did my work. Once I write the exam, it is written, I'll go back home. Fortunately, I was one of those who never failed. So I didn't need to go close to any lecture. And that saw me through my university days. Yeah, but for fun, sometimes I read my Bible, I write tracts, yes, I preach. Those are the things I do at my leisure time. Yes, and I like writing letters to friends. I'm not on Facebook. People try to put me there, but I'm not the one there. I know the damage those things can do at times. But I try to be as natural as possible. I told you I grew up in a natural environment. I've not deviated. But one thing I do, I don't allow things to enter my head. I can't tell you because I'm VC or I'm this. I coordinated the World Bank Assistance Project, which was superior to being a VC anyway. So I used to call VCs and speak to them. You don't use our money well, we'll deal with you. But are you getting me? So being a VC is not new to me. I don't allow things to enter my head. It's very natural.
Despite his busy schedule, the lover of God dedicates time to faith.
Well, I would say I like God. Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's why I try to do things. I don't allow my work to overweigh my other activities. So most of the time, if I'm met with aggression, I try to play it down. The first issue is not to react immediately. Because if you react immediately, you are likely to do very irrational things. So if somebody is aggressive, watch him. Before long, unless it's not normal, he too will cool down. That's how I react to aggression. I try to allow you to weigh down yourself. And when you are finished, I'll give you my own part of the story.
The peacekeeper blows us away with his qualification and experiences.
Well, one thing I like, University of Nigeria, where it is, the people around that environment are hardworking. So that gives me, because first of all, if you're in a strange environment, You don't know any professor you can cry to. You have to work extra hard. So I became a professor there in 1998. That's quite some time now. And I've done other things. I was national coordinator of a World Bank assisted project here. I was an Alexander von Humboldt fellow in Germany. I was a Masumai fellow in Japan. I was also doing some research in Manchester. When I was called back, I had to break it. I won the Nigerian Science Prize. So with that, it has been here, neither here nor there. Are you understanding? After the World Bank assisted project, that's when I got this job. So it has been some time in academics, sometimes. So this 11 years, I've not been in academics. I've always been in one managerial position, or I've been trying to put things together for the government. Yes.
Since assuming the position of Vice Chancellor, significant changes have been recorded.
Yes, let me tell you, when it comes to selection of a Vice Chancellor or even a rector, you know what the white man will do? They will advertise it globally. Are you understanding? It is your CV in terms of how much grant you have attracted that will attract you to that university as a Vice Chancellor. In Nigeria here, most of the universities are called them village Vice Chancellors. You must be a professor from that environment. If not, nobody will consider you. Or, yes, if not, they can't even consider you for rectorship. Most people see colleges of education, this one belongs to us. That is not a system that can hatch serious knowledge. You know, lecturers are called eggheads. In other climes, in other places, it is the university that contributes to the government. Are you understanding? So when you are just because in Nigeria, when people are looking at position, they are thinking of what they will gain. They are not thinking of what they will put in that system. That's our problem. And that's why we have hiccup here, we have hiccup there. Things are not very smooth. That's not the idea of a university, where you just sample 5 people. Maybe because they are from the same village. I remember one university said the Vice Chancellor must come from this village or no school. That's what we are doing. So the number actually doesn't matter. What is your CV? What is in your CV? That's what should matter to any person. I know some universities here in Abuja where their Vice Chancellors are from overseas. Hope you are aware. That is the idea of a university, universality. Are you understanding? That is anytime you are talking about the university, universality, in terms of staffing, in terms of student population. If you go to some universities in Ghana, there are over 5,000 Americans. How many do we have in our universities? So what we are doing here, I think we need to be more serious. That's the issue. The balancing factor in all this is what you want to do for that system. When you are outside, just like most staff who are not VCs, they don't know the challenge of the job. Are you understanding? Many people think either you have a lot of money to spend, so they can say, "Oh God, we don't have a faculty building." No. That's the type of thing you hear. Nobody is ready to say, how do we generate this money? The other year we brought, I think last year we brought somebody here from a university in the US, in the state of Oklahoma. He said they get only 7% of their annual budget from the state government. They generate the 93%. Imagine University of Abuja, look at our land. We are very close to the government. So we should be able to generate the fund that will keep us here. Now, but before you can do that, you need the people to drive it. It's not just a person, one person that's in VC and he wants to. You can't go far. Are you understanding? So I don't want to say balancing factor as you said, because things are not very balanced. We have been wrestling with the situation to see how we can have a midpoint. That is very, very critical, and that's what we are doing. I'm dreaming of a university that, one, is self-sufficient. And even if I'm not here, that's a prayer I'll be saying to God, help this university, let them be self-sufficient. I'm looking at a university where you have a lot of research coming out of the system, where we have people who are actually interested in research. You see, you cannot do much without research. If you are doing a national plan, you want to plan for education, what statistics are you using? Are you understanding? These are some of the issues. You need data. We're in a country where we don't produce the food we eat. If you are aware, we import a lot of food. Even the ones we have, we don't preserve them. We don't produce the oil that we use to drive our cars. We only have oil wells. Other people that are doing it for us. We don't produce the drugs we consume in this country. No single drug is manufactured in Nigeria. I hope you know. What they do is compounding. They just combine things the way they do at Kojo Assembly Plant in Kaduna. That's what our pharmaceutical industries are doing. Common starch is not made here. We're in a country where we don't, even the road we are passing through, the cloth you're wearing, our industries are all done. So I dream of a university that can be solving problems, national problems. That's why universities were established. They were not established to be giving certificates that have no value. Look at the rate of unemployment in the country. We have a lot of raw materials, but they are not being converted to useful things. So we need to change our way of thinking. And I will do as much as I can. Where I reach, the next will be prayers.
He finally charges students and university to bring about the desired change in the country.
I have always told our students they need to be very serious. The days that when students come out of school, a job is waiting, is gone. In fact, in Nigeria, before, all you needed was a primary school certificate. And they can give you any position in government. And then if you are lucky to have a secondary school certificate, you can be an ambassador. Are you getting it? But is that happening now? People with PhD are riding Okada. But that's the only job they can do. Do you know why? They were not taught what to do in school. Schools are meant to prepare people. That's why curriculum or curricula, whatever you want to call it, that's why they are made, to prepare somebody for his working life. Unfortunately, we are not doing that. We just give out certificate and somebody celebrates he has graduated. Graduated to become what? That's the question. So, that's my idea for the students that are creative. The other day I brought an army colonel to teach our students critical thinking. We need to think critically. If not, that you can sit on gold without knowing you are sitting on it. They say Africa has over 68% of the world's raw materials. Yet we are the poorest. Since our education system, look, education is the catalyst for development. Our education system is very faulty. Either our curriculum is faulty because since it's independence. If we have produced our curriculum based on petrol that we have in abundance, by now, we won't be looking for white people to come and do those. We'll only be selling. But for now, I think we are begging. So, our students must change their psyche. They must change the way they think if this country has to move forward.
Hard work, dedication, success, achievement, versatility, position, power, all of these and more are the attributes of the professor. Michael Umale Adiku is a perfect example that a humble beginning, it's all it takes.
Something good is happening.